I believe sales is a learned behavior.
It is.
Of activity and doing and, going through the numbers, if you will. What's a tip that you would like to share?
Well, I've always been a back office guy. Like I said, I'm an accountant. I was a controller.
Okay.
And I kind of got pushed into the sales, and thought, oh man, I'll never be able to do this. So I read some books.
What books?
Oh, don't ask me to.
Okay, good. Keep going.
I think the most important was solution selling.
Okay,
and
solution.
I can't remember the author at all.
We'll find it. Okay.
And the other thing I learned is you got to pay attention to your pipeline, and know how it works. So out of a certain number of, I got to the point where I could predict if I spent $1,000 on mail outs, I would get, and I'm just pulling numbers out of the air, I put 1,000 mailers out.
Okay.
I would get 100 responses with interest. And out of those, about 10 people would answer the phone call when I called them.
Okay.
And out of those 10, I might get 5 or 6 invitations to come show them the software. And out of that, I might get 1 sale. It's just a big old funnel. And you got to know what your numbers are if you're going to predict what kind of sales you're going to have, and how you're going to project your revenue. And we had a consulting business too, so you got to be able to project your how many people you need on the bench to support the sales and all of that.
What's something that people miss about sales?
It's long term.
Explain.
Well, you got to create relationships first. And out of those relationships, you got to learn what the needs of the customer is. And you got to be willing, I think, when you discover those needs and your product or your service won't fill those needs, you got to be willing to say, and I've done this many times, what I've got to sell you is not going to meet your needs, but I know so-and-so, or try this product instead, because that'll meet your needs. And what that does is it builds a reputation in the community that this guy, number one, he's honest, and number two, he's going to take care of me. And so, that person might not need the product that I'm selling, but the person he says that to might. And so you tend to get referrals and callbacks and stuff like that. And it's a long-term thing. When they hired me, I told them, I said, I don't expect a turnaround in a month. 6 months is what, and I based that upon my analysis of the previous numbers that they had. I said, I'll give you a turnaround, but it'll take 6 months. And we did. We turned the business around. We started selling. We started putting consultants out and selling consulting time and everything else. So,
well, let me ask you this: what are we're big on studying and counselship, and if you don't know something, invest into the information.
Absolutely.
I know you said that book, and we'll get it and we'll find the author.
Sure.
But what are some other great business or sales philosophers or sales trainers because I talk a lot about like Og Mandino, Jim Rohn, Zig Ziglar, Dale Carnegie, Napoleon Hill, Earl Nightingale. What are some people that, and any of those or any other one? Napoleon Hill.
Napoleon Dynamite.
Napoleon Dynamite. Okay.
No, seriously, I'm a Marine. Long since out of the Marine Corps. But I tend to do things the Marine Corps way, and the first thing the Marine Corps teaches you is never stop, never quit, never give up. If you don't, failure's not an option. So if you look at failure right in the eye, go around it. Do something else. Have plan B, have plan D, have plan Z, but don't give up. Don't lose faith in yourself. Jack Welch is an important writer.
Okay, yes.
His GE way, I worked for GE for quite a few years, and the Jack Welch way of doing things is pretty awesome. You know, so
What's the Jack Welch way? What's one way?
one way is don't spend your resources on things that are not important. So that causes you to have to assess what's important right now. And with that in mind, Lou Holtz, he had, I was at a motivational speech that he gave many years ago. He said he had a win philosophy with his teams. What's important now? And so
Never heard that.
he would finish up his, between every game. Once that game was over, that game's no longer important. What's important now? Getting ready for the next game. When he was coach at Notre Dame, they went to a lot of bowl games. And so they finished their regular season. They got invited to a bowl. What's important now? Players have a good holiday season. So you tell them, finish your exams, pack your trash, go home, spend some time with your families. I'll see you back here on the 26th of December. We'll get ready for the bowl game. You know, what's important now? And from play to long-term strategies to his recruiting strategy, you know, am I going to recruit defensive ends when I got 100 defensive ends and need a quarterback? No, I'm going to get myself a quarterback. So
we can apply that in life as well as business too.
Oh, yeah.
What's important now? Because even with sales, right? Some people get tied up on the call. They'll get cursed out, or somebody will hang up on them, and then they say, "Oh man, no, man,
Yeah.
I can't do this," or they'll get all caught up and emotional about that one
Yes.
call,
Yes.
and then they don't realize you just go to that next one. It's a brand new call.
Exactly. That's exactly right. And most people you call, whether it's a cold call, whether you're coming back for your 550th call, they're going to tell you no right at that time. And what you got to do is just persist. If not with that person, with the next person on your list. And you work down until you've worked through all your leads, all your prospects. And then if you run out of those, you go out and do more cold calling. You know, you put out more flyers. You just pick up the phone book and start calling people and annoying them.
Dialing for dollars.
Dialing for dollars. Yes. Sir.
All right.
Yes,
So,
sir.
what was your name again?
I'm Dave Althaus.
Dave Althaus. All right,
Yes,
pleasure to
sir.
meet you. They know me as Billionaire Brown.
Okay, Billionaire. BB.
Yeah, BB. Yeah, that's it. What was I gonna ask you? All right, how old are you?
I am 71.
All right, 71. In all of your 71 years, outside of sales, business, whatever you want to give us,
Yeah.
people my age and younger, we aspire to reach 71. No matter how you slice it, we aspire. Because
Yeah.
that's not guaranteed. We could be gone tomorrow. So 71, that's big. Also, thank you for serving in the Marines.
Thank you.
There's a great book. You ever heard of Extreme Ownership?
No, I haven't.
You should check it out. It's by some Marines. Incredible book. 71 years old. What is one thing that, what would you share with someone like my age, 36 years old,
36.
about life that you learned maybe the hard way about life?
I learned this from a Marine.
Okay.
He was at the Chosin Reservoir. He was a platoon commander in Korea. And so he'd been through some stuff. And he said, no matter how hard it gets, always keep your sense of humor. Always keep your sense of humor. Look for something to laugh at. And if you do that, you'll be all right. And I have found that to be true. I've had people ask me when things got difficult at various points in my life, how can you laugh? Well, it's easy. You know, you just decide to be happy. And does it work every day? Nah, but it works most days, you know. So you just make an active decision to be happy.
I really like that. Really like that. Dave. You're on YouTube? Do you ever watch YouTube?
I watch YouTube.
You watch
yes.
YouTube, so I'll make sure